Alrighty, so here we are on the entrance slips for lesson 18. Number 1 says, Ken's landscape gardening business creates odd-shaped lawns that include semicircles. Find the area of this semicircular section of the lawn in the design. Use 22/7 for pi. So remember, the area of a regular circle, like a full circle, would be pi r squared. But since it's a semicircle, we're going to have to divide this in half. So we have the diameter here, which equals 5, which means our radius would be half of that, would be 2.5. So when we go to plug into our equation here, we're going to have our pi is 22/7 times our r is 2.5 squared, and then all of this divided by 2. So if we keep going, we've got 22/7 times 2.5 squared is 6.25, and then divide that by 2. I'm going to pull up the calculator here and show you how I would type this in the calculator to make sure you go in the right order. So in the calculator here, so first we would take care of that 22/7 times 6.25. First we would do 22 times 6.25. You hit enter. Then we're going to divide that by 7 because that's the 7ths part. Oh, that didn't work. Let's see, 22 times 6.25 divide by 7. I hit the wrong button. You get that. And then we're going to divide by 2. So when you round, you get about 9.8. So anything around 9.8 would be good enough for rounding's sake. It doesn't give you a specific decimal place. So we would say that it would be 9.8, where in meters, an area is squared. Alright, so in the next one here, in the figure below, Ken's company has placed sprinkler heads in 2 small semicircles. The radius of the sprinklers is 5 feet. If the area in the larger semicircular area is the shape of the entire lawn, how much of the lawn will not be watered? Give your answer in terms of pi and to the nearest tenth. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. So if we start with the radius of the sprinklers is 5 feet. So that means like half of this semicircle is 5. So that's where they got that 10 from on the bottom. That also means that this one would be 10 feet going across for the diameter, or we could say that the radius of this is 5. Okay, so that means, I shaded in blue to represent water, this is all that's getting watered, because that is how far that the sprinkler can reach, which means that the rest of this in green is not getting watered. Okay, so we're pretty much trying to find the area in green, okay? Which means we're going to have to find the smaller areas, then the bigger one, and then find the difference. So if we start with the smaller, the semicircles, so we'll say these are the smaller guys. Remember, area is pi r squared. So in this case, that would be pi times 5 squared. But remember, since they're semicircles, and I bet some of you forgot this, is you have to divide by 2. So we would have like 25 pi divided by 2 for each of the semicircles. All right. Now remember, if we have 2 semicircles, it's like taking this 25 pi over 2 and multiplying by 2 because we have 2 of them. So those go away. So we are left with just 25 pi for the smaller semicircles. Okay, and we're going to leave it as that for now. So now if we go to do the bigger semicircled the green, so the bigger one, again we have the area is pi r squared divided by 2. It's still a semicircle. So we'd have pi times our radius here. Half of this semicircle is the 10. So times 10 squared divided by 2. So we would end up with 100 pi over 2, and then 100 divided by 2 would give us 50 pi for the semicircle. Right? We don't multiply by 2 here because we only have one semicircle. So now to find the difference, well, we take our 50 pi of the bigger minus the 25 pi of the smaller. So we end up with 25 pi, which also equals, remember they wanted it in terms of pi and to the nearest tenth. So if you type in 25 and then the pi symbol into your calculator and you round to the nearest tenth, you would get 78.5. And we're talking about square feet here. So both of these would be your answer since they wanted it in both terms. All right, and then that's all we'll do for the video.